to the show. Sports Talk with Fat Larry, keeping you informed. We have a wonderful show set up for you guys today. I don't know where you are, but here in H-Town, it's a beautiful day, so I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day after you watch the podcast. So what I'm going to do, as I generally do, I'm going to show my HBCU love first. We're going to rehash what went on in college football, HBCU, and local colleges. So let me jump right into it because I want to spend most of my time with our special guest today. Okay, we got in the SWAC, we had one winner, I think, against the conference teams, non-conference teams. But anyway, let's go down the list here. We had Alabama A&M beat BCU, Bethune-Cookman, 30-27. We had PV beat HBU, 37-27, which was a good thing. Mississippi Valley State lost to Stephen F. Austin, 58-13. FAMU lost to USF, which is University of South Florida, 38-17. 38-17. FAMU lost to South Florida. Grambling lost to University of Houston, 45-0. Almost got beat as bad as we did by Baylor. Southern lost to McNeese State, 31-24. You know, they lost that game, but I like that they went out and showed up. Our HBCUs, a lot of time we have to prostitute ourselves, and excuse my English, to these major colleges because we don't have the money that these, or the funding that these major colleges do. So people always want to sometimes say in conversation, I hear them because, you know, I am around other sports junkies, and they be like, well, why do they schedule these teams? Because they have to survive. You know, these teams get a pretty good paycheck to go play these other schools. So I understand. So I just want our HBCUs to show up, and this score indicates to me by Southern, even though McNeese beat them 31-24, they win the game. Here's even another example. Alcorn lost to South Alabama 28-21. That game probably went down to the wire. And that's what I want for my university, and that is to just show some fight. When I say my university, I know you guys have watched the show in the past. I understand that it's Texas Southern University right here in Houston. We have JSU, Jackson State, lost to Louisiana Monroe 12-7. A very winnable game for Jackson State. And so Jackson State definitely is bringing the heat. And this is all, once more time, I keep repeating myself, I want my Tigers to do. Be aggressive. Go out and let them know, hey, you eventually, as we've talked off air to my guests, talent takes over in the third and fourth quarter, but the first half, it makes no sense that you can't go out there and fight. And so these universities showed, some of them showed a lot of fight. I'm going to go back, digress to the TSU Baylor game, which was a week ago. We did not show any aggression on offense nor defense. We're making the same mistakes. We have to get our guys in the right position to succeed. If you're going to run a certain offense, put the best person in there to run that offense. I can't coach the team. I'm not trying to coach a team. I'm just giving my observation, which I promised to do. And there's some things that, you know, it wouldn't have made the difference in Texas Southern beating Baylor, but it would have made the difference in what you were running, the scheme, I feel. So, but anyway, let's put the right people in the right place, and let's stop making the same mistakes. Let's be aggressive on offense and defense. And talking about JSU losing to Louisiana Monroe 12-7 is a very winnable game. What I'd like to talk about also is, like, there are coaches that are getting talked about that I feel like doesn't deserve it. And Deion Sanders, Coach Prime, is a prime example. They talk about he get all of the hype for SWAC. Yeah, well, he's putting his name out there, but all that does is keep the SWAC in the news. So you got to understand and appreciate what Deion is saying. He has a wonderful idea now I'm going to tell you guys about. He wants to make a major HBCU conference by putting the MEAC with the SWAC. You're talking about schools, North Carolina Central, Norfolk State. Well, I think Hampton just left there. But you got Winston-Salem. There's some other good schools over there. And so that's a great idea to me. I don't know what other people think. But what you can do is hit me on my email, fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. fatlarrypodcast@gmail.com. And at the bottom of this video, you can also write a comment. Let me know what you think. You know, if you think I'm going down the wrong way, let me know. So this upcoming week's games are going to be, and this is a good one, Thursday. It's going to be at ESPN. Alcorn is going to versus UAPB, last year's participant in the SWAC championship. So this should be a good game. Saturday, you got Jackson State is hosting Delta State. I'm picking Jackson State for that. Alabama A&M and University is playing Tuskegee, an old rivalry game. They're going to be playing in Mobile, so it's probably some type of classic. So I'm still going to be picking Alabama A&M University because of watching them play Bethune. They play tremendous defense. Prairie View is playing Grambling. I'm going with my sister college, PV, on beating Grambling. Alabama State is going to be playing Bethune-Cookman. I think Alabama State has just enough to beat them in Alabama State, and that's where they'll be playing. We're playing Rice, TSU that is playing Rice University. And once again, I just want us to show up. Let them know they win a football game. So picking Rice on that, even though my heart is with TSU. Mississippi Valley will be hosting Southern University. That'll be on ESPN. Take a break right here. Hit that subscribe button, that share button, and that like button. And hit that bell for me. Baseball. We have our Astros leading the Western Division. I think the Astros are going to win that division. And if they can sink in with their pitching and hitting, as I said at the beginning of my podcast about 3 months ago, that I think the Astros can go again to the World Series. But it seems like the pitching is there one day and the hitting isn't, and the hitting is there one day and the pitching isn't. So if they can get it all synchronized together, I think they'll be all right. Big news for University of Houston. They were voted into the Big 12. They just made a whole bunch of moolah. It depends on if the conference can stay together and keep that TV contract. With UT, University of Texas, and Oklahoma leaving, it's kind of wishy-washy. They don't know. So what we're going to do now is introduce our guest. I am so happy to have her. That's right, listening audience, her. This is my first female guest. And you know what? I couldn't pick a better one. So without further ado, I want to introduce to you the head basketball coach at Texas Southern University. I got about 5 things I could also say about it, but I'm going to say that later on in the show. But anyway, I'd like for you guys to welcome Coach Cynthia Cooper.
Thanks for having me.
Coach, it is such a wonderful surprise to have you here. And for my listening audience, I am honored. And we're going to start this off because I know you're busy and you have things to do. We're going to start this off with you telling the listening audience just a little bit about yourself, where you're from, where you started, high school, college, and the comments.
Well, I mean, I've had a long history of playing sports and being involved in sports. So I started in Watts, inner city in Los Angeles. So I went to elementary, middle school, and then high school. I started actually playing basketball at Locke High School as a sophomore. We won our state championship my senior year. I then went on to USC. We won 2 national championships at USC. And then from college, because there was no professional league in America, I then went over to Italy. E io parlo italiano. Se c'è qualcuno che parla italiano.
What did you just say, Coach?
No, I just said that I speak fluent Italian.
Wow.
And I learned Italian while I was over there playing. I played for 10 seasons over in Europe. Well, actually 11. I played my very first year in Spain, Valencia. So I did that because I wanted to pursue my dream of playing professional basketball. And then the WNBA came about. So I actually was a 34-year-old rookie in the WNBA.
That's what's amazing to me. And I couldn't believe it. I thought that was a typo when they said you were 34 when you came in.
Yeah, 34, dragging people to the back. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
it was fun. I mean, it was fun because basketball is a passion of mine, and I enjoy not just playing but helping my team win championships. Because at the end of the day, for me, that's what it's all about. It's about winning championships.
Wow, Coach. Question: you in Italy, and I've noticed that one of my favorite players, Kobe Bryant. I'm a Laker diehard. If you go back into the archives and look at one of my podcasts, you'll see I had my Laker gear on. And the haters came out in droves after the season.
Sure.
Let me tell you, Coach, what they had me do. They had me put a fishing hat on. A guy that I had a little wager on, he said, you don't have to pay me. You know how they do on TV when they say they go on fishing? He said, I just need you to put a fishing hat on and say, your Lakers will go on fishing. And so I had to do that, Coach.
Well, I would tell you, I'm a huge Lakers fan. I grew up being a Lakers fan, and so don't worry, because I'm a Rockets fan as well.
There you go.
I think with the Lakers, Kobe played overseas. He played in the younger leagues overseas, but it was his father that is kind of my age group that while I was playing overseas. So he was the youngin', and I was already playing pro ball over there. But when Kobe and I saw each other here in America at different events, Hall of Fame events, or if it was All-Star games, we would speak Italian to each other. Right. So we'd be in a crowd of all of these people, and nobody could understand what we were saying because we were speaking in Italian. So that was also a little fun fact. But yeah, growing up, you kind of have to be a Lakers fan if you're in LA.
So you and Kobe, I didn't finish the question, but you and Kobe were kind of like his dad was there at the same time you were there.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. He was playing in the younger leagues, and his dad was in the top league.
Okay. So moving on. I'm not going to hold it anymore, Coach. Coach was just nominated into the top 25. The ending results aren't out. But if anyone want to go to one more time, Fat Larry Podcast at gmail.com and challenge me, we got that challenge going on. I know it. My only doubt is will it be number one, which I think it should be. Coach, I know you're not from that count your eggs before they hatch type thing, but let's be real, Coach. There's not too many more that played the game better than you. And that's why I said 34. See, now I've started now, Coach. I held it as long as I could at 34, 4 MVPs. Do you know, let me say that slow, 4 MVPs. Get your book out and see how many NBA players did that. 4 MVP finals. Get your book out and hit me again at the bottom in the comment section if you already know, and tell me. So I am truly fascinated by the accomplishments because in the beginning, Coach, actually, the first year I thought was your best year because you guys, everybody had New York Liberty picked to win that, and you all pulled it out.
I'll tell you, most people didn't know who I was, where I'd come from. They had lost touch with me playing overseas. And when I played at USC, I was really a role player. It was really Cheryl Miller, the star, and then the McGee twins were the stars. So I came off the bench. I played as a role player at USC. So the WNBA was really me showcasing my talent and what I've been doing as a pro overseas. Now, they expected us to be about 500, but I like to win. And I like to win championships. And I really felt that I could come over to America and really showcase kind of what I've been doing overseas.
What you've been working on.
I think the thing for me is, I really believe you have to step up your game once you go into the playoffs. Mm-hmm. So I went from averaging 22 points regular season to 28 points in the playoffs. And I did that. I tried to do that, and it was on purpose. I did that every single year we played in the playoffs. But really the foundation that I had laid was before practice, I'm doing weight workouts and sprint workouts. Then I would practice, and then after practice, I would then grab the rookies and do some one-on-one work and that sort of thing. So I really prepared myself to be at my best and peak at the right time of the season, and that was during playoffs.
Listening audience, all you have to do is go to your favorite male athlete and listen to him being asked the question I just asked him, Coach, and him explaining how he got to where he was. It's going to be identical to what Coach just said. All the great ones put in the time. All the great ones put in the time. And Coach Story fell right in line with all these other great ones when you hear them talk about it. Now, Coach, I told you I was going to ask you prior to the show taping, and the listening audience, this doesn't mean she picks one group of players over the other group of players. I wanted the coach to tell me what she thought her favorite team was from that championship ring we had.
Well, from the 4 championships that we won, my absolute favorite is our second championship. And that's because we had the highest winning percentage of any professional team, and that's 90%. We went 27-3 that year. And if you remember, those of you who are Comets fans, real Comets fans, if you remember, that was the year that the ABL they had folded, and those players, came into the WNBA, and nobody believed that the Houston Comets could repeat as champions. And that particular year, we were really focused. So we had a healthy Cheryl. The year before, she just came off having her baby. Right. We had Kim Peratt, Tina Thompson with a year under her belt. And I just thought we played. We were focused, we were driven. So that was my absolute favorite.
Was Jeanette on that team?
Jeanette Arcane, yeah, all 4 of them.
Everyone talks about the big 3, but I tell everybody they had a big 3 and a big number 4. That was Jeanette Arcane.
Well, Jeanette was just amazing. And for us, she really literally played all 4 positions. Right. She played the 1, 2, 3, and the 4. Right. Sometimes we played small ball and we put her at the 4. She just morphed into whatever we needed her to be in order for us to be successful, and just an ultimate teammate and just a great talent.
No trouble. You want me to dive on the floor? No trouble. I never saw her say anything to any of you guys on. Like maybe if she was open and you and Cheryl taking a shot, and she just go back and do her job.
It's just.
And that's what it takes. Excuse me for interrupting. That's what it takes on championship team.
I think it does. It takes everybody playing their role, accepting their role, and then being the best in their role. Yeah. Some people accept their role, but they don't go out and give 100%. Right. You've got to accept your role and give 100% to the team you play on that you want to be successful. That's the key. The key isn't just to show up, but to show out, or to be a participant. You got to be in it to win it. You can't just be in it to participate. You want to be in it, be great.
This message is going out to my good buddy from my hometown that is a loyal fan of girls basketball. He comes from Dallas to watch y'all play.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's met you up in Dallas. If I had the picture, I would have it upstairs. You probably say, I think I remember this guy. Did you just hear what she said? You and I talked about this, Pinky, and that was that she don't like losing. So we knew that this upcoming year, there were going to be some changes made and some players brought in.
Yeah.
And with that said, this leads me, because we can sit here and talk about the Comets all day. I brought you in here to let the listening audience know about our Lady Tigers. We had a down season. I've already complimented Coach on the fact that even though it was a down season, I think she did one of her better jobs. Because if you went to the game, you'd have to be a blind man not to see that we had no talent equal to whoever we were playing on the floor. And that's not talking about you, Coach. That's not talking about you or your players.
Right.
Yeah, because the players played hard, and that's from you.
And you have to remember, we had some injuries. So our top players, we lost 70% of our scoring to injury with a bucket tear in the meniscus, and then an ACL. And then we had 4 kids, 2 really stayed out all year with ankle injuries in crucial moments. Because of the COVID, we couldn't train, so they were undertrained. Then we're putting them out there on the court, and then they got injured. But this year we have 10 new players. Yes. We have a 6'4", 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", 6'1", 5'11", 5'10" kid. So we're going to be long, we're going to be athletic, and we're going to be hungry. I don't like to lose. Did I mention that?
You meant, that's why I shouted out to my buddy, because I said, look at them. That lady don't like to lose. You can just pay them. There's no way next year we're going to look the same way we did this year.
We look totally different. We have some kids back from injury. ACL kid T, she's still rehabbing, so we're not sure if we're going to get her back this year. But Naya is back, and then we just have a full roster of players that are hungry and want to play, want to get better.
What is the little guard that we had last year that hurt her ankle? Ty
hurt her ankle last year, but she's back. She's back for her senior year. her COVID year, really. She's working on her master's. We graduate kids. We get kids prepared for life. And now it's time for us to prepare to win a SWAC championship and a tournament championship.
Okay, I had to listen. You started going down it already, though. But can you give me like maybe 4? I know you got like 10. Now, if you want to name all 10, fine. That's what I was going to go down and list all 10. But starting with the kid from SC, University of Southern California, where Coach once coached, head coached at. The story I get is that y'all have a relationship from previous when you were at USC?
Yeah, well, she's just a great kid. Just a great kid. She Alexis Aaron. I call her X. She's 6'2". She can play the point guard, the 2 guard, or the 3.
6'2" guard.
She can handle the ball. She can shoot the 3. Mid-range game. She can finish with either hand, and boy, can she pass the ball. So she's really a complete player. She's a couple years. She's coming off an injury, so she's a couple years out of like basketball.
Yeah, right.
But it's great because we have so much talent in practice. Our practices are pretty competitive, so that gets her prepared more for the game. But every once in a while, she does some stuff, a step back 3-pointer, or drive to the basket and drop it off to a post player that we're like, wow. That's amazing. That's a professional. That's a pro play. That's next level. So we're expecting her to be really good for us, but we want her to be consistent.
All right. Now,
I'm going to let you go down the list because, I can keep going.
Okay. Now, I want you to go. Because what I want you to do is just call their name off, where they're from, and their position. Because I think the next ones are 6'4".
Well, you're talking about Amaze. Amaze
6'4"?
Yes,
Okay.
Amaze, and Amaze is kind of 6'3", but she looks 6'4". So Amaze and Zion.
Where's she from?
Zion is from Baltimore. I want to say Amaze is from Alabama.
Okay, and you say we had 3, and what's another 6'4"?
So we have 2 6'4", and then we have Mimi O'Neal, Amira. Sorry.
Yeah, Shaq's daughter.
She's 6'2". Yeah. And then we have Ariana. Ariana is a transfer from UTEP. She's 6'2", 6'3", and she's just so skilled.
Is she a local girl?
Yes,
Okay.
she is. She is local. She's so incredibly skilled. She can shoot the 3, take you off the dribble, play with her back to the basket. She passes. She is just very, very skilled. She's coming off of knee surgery, but she should be ready here next month.
Okay, and the next, got a couple 6'2", you say?
So I talked about Alexis, 6'2", and then I'm missing a player. But let me go back to Zion.
Okay.
Zion is a freshman, a true freshman, 6'4", athletic, a gazelle when she's running up and down that floor. She has good hands. We're teaching her some more moves around the basket, but she can move, she can defend, she can block shots. And she's just a joy to kind of coach because her upside is so great. So it's fun playing with her. And then our 5'11", we have a 5'11" freshman, Elisa. And Elisa is just, we call her Lily, and she is just another gazelle. She ran track in high school. She can get up and down that court, finish with her left, right, handle the ball. We play her at the 2 or the 3 because of her jumping ability.
How tall is she?
5'11".
5'11".
And she's a true freshman as well. Alexis has 2 to 3 years left because of injuries that she sustained. She has about 2 to 3 years left, and she, smart as she is working on her master's. So she might leave TSU with 2 masters.
Wow. That's what it's all about, Coach.
Absolutely.
That's what it's all, making these kids take advantage. So no one can say the university took advantage of you.
Right.
You take advantage of the opportunity that's presented to you also. See, I'm an ex-athlete at Texas Southern University myself. I broke my ankle playing baseball my sophomore year, and I figured while I'm here, I might as well try to get my degree. Baseball may not happen now. And so I'm happy that all your kids are understanding that.
Sure.
And finishing and getting their degrees. Now, listening audience, I know you heard Coach Jones on the show. Coach got me pumped up now. Coach Jones, we went over his roster. I said, Coach, you got 10 players. You're going to almost press. Coach, you got 10 players. It might be an up and down during the women's game and an up and down in the boys' game with Texas Southern. I mean, I can't wait.
and I haven't even mentioned Jayla and Jada. I get them mixed up every single time because they get mixed up because I say Jayla, they think I said Jada, and then they think I said Jayla. And one is 6 foot and the other one's 6'1", 6'2", and they're gonna play. They play the 3 and the 4, and they can shoot the 3. They're great defenders. They can finish at the rim, not only with their back to the basket, but taking you off the dribble. And they are feisty.
You got another set of twins?
Nope.
Oh, okay. They're not twins. They're
nope,
just names.
Twins. They
names
just
similar.
And we were. So we're probably, and I'm knocking on wood. We're probably 13 deep.
I saw it when I saw the list. I was like, wow, Coach is gonna be able to do like Coach Jones, man. Almost.
Yeah, we want to press. We want to play fast. We want to get up and down. We want to make our game fun to watch and fun to play.
Right. Well, I'm gonna be the first to advocate. You need to get, and it has started, Coach, since you were here the first time where attendance picked up during the female game. Now I look for it to be for it to be at least halfway full or more people, twice the amount of people with the squad. All they're gonna need to do is see you guys one time.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be fun to watch. We're gonna be fun to watch. We can press. We can get fresh players in to keep the pressure on, not only defensively but also offensively. We have so much talent. Anybody who touches the ball feel like they could take a shot right now. Right. And I'm like, get through an offense, get the ball where it needs to be.
Right.
But we're on the sideline as coaches, and we're just like, whoa, nice, ooh, okay, And so we're putting it together, and talent is one thing, but team is a totally different thing, and you've got to put the talent together to make a team, and that's what we're in the process of doing.
Take a break right here. Hit that subscribe button, that share button, and that like button. And hit that bell for me. Okay, now, I want you to give me real quickly, who do you think in order of toughest competition, or who you think is going to be picked early?
Well, I think, Jackson State. I think Jackson State is definitely the one that is the team to beat. And then everyone else is always going to bring their A game against us. Alabama State, they did a great job last year. So it'll be every team in the SWAC out to get Texas Southern. Yeah. That's how we feel. We know that they're going to bring their best game when it comes to Texas Southern. And so we're going to have to bring our A game to compete. And we will compete every single game.
Isn't that something, Coach? You all aren't even defending champions, but they already mark you. What's your name? They want to beat you, Coach.
Right. They want to beat me, but it's okay because I think it also holds our players to a higher standard, right, to where they have to come with the noise every single game. And I don't see anything wrong with that because it helps prepare them for what's next, and that's the conference playoffs. And then hopefully a berth in the NCAA tournament.
And before we go quickly, name me one D1 school that you guys will be playing early and who you open the season up with.
So we open the season up with DePaul out in Chicago. And then we're going to also play Arizona. And Arizona was obviously in the Final Four last year. Play for a championship. And so we're going to play in Arizona. So that should be a really big test. But we're also going out to LA. I don't know if you guys know, but we just, the SWAC just announced a partnership with the Pac-12. And so we're going to go out to LA this year and play UCLA and USC.
Homecoming for you.
Yeah, it's going to be nice because, I'm trying to get a W in both schools, but definitely beat UCLA. I'm just saying.
Just a natural rival, USC and UCLA. Well, Coach, I am so happy and thrilled that you showed up today. And as I talked to you prior, if there's anything that this podcast can do for you and the university and the Lady Tigers, just let us know. And if you want to bring the player of the week over, just let us know and we'll make room and accommodate.
All right. Thank you.
Nice having you, Coach.
Nice having you. Thanks for having me.
I want everyone in the listening audience to have a wonderful day. Peace out.